Hello, children. Hope all of you are fine. So, today we'll be reading Literature Standard 6 If I Were a Giant. So, here, let's first of all talk about the poet. The poet of this poem is Jackie Hosking, and she is a children's poet who was born in Nigeria, and she has been writing poems for children for many years now. If I Were a Giant is a first poem which was first published in 2005 in a school magazine. She also writes short stories, blogs, and articles. You can consider her a very good writer. Yes, so let's just begin. An ancient Greek scholar once said, painting is a silent poetry, and poetry is painting with the gift of speech. Yes, children, you should always remember that when you see a painting, you try to figure out what the painting is trying to convey us. Yes, and when you see a poetry, it is like a painting, but you will find there are some words used, like the speeches, the way it is given. Yes, the gift of speech is provided to a poetry. So when we before beginning this, first of all, let me say you, like here you will find that the speaker expresses the imaginative idea, like if she were a giant, what all things she would do. And the main theme is, children, that this poem appreciates the beauty of nature. Right now we all are busy in our day-to-day lives that we forget to admire the nature, the beauty it consists of. Yes, so in this poem, definitely the beauty of nature is appreciated. And you can see so many imaginative way the poet is trying to convey, and she's using like so many visual images, like when you read it, definitely a clear picture will be created in your mind. So let us just begin with this poem. If I were a giant, I wonder if I could stand on my tiptoes and paint the sky. So the poet is imagining if she was a giant, what she would do? She would stand on her tiptoes, as you can see, tiptoes. The meaning of tiptoe is, children, like standing on the front part of your foot and your heels are off the ground. Like if you want to appear taller, you generally do this. Yes, and if she was a giant, she would stand on her tiptoes and she will be painting the sky. I would fashion paint brushes from branches of trees and paint all the clouds as they float on the breeze. So now here the poet is imagining, like if she was a giant, she will be making paint brushes from the tree's branches, and then with the help of these branches she will be painting the clouds as the clouds are floating by. I would wake up quite early when morning was new and paint all the daisies with pollen and dew. So now here, children, she is imagining that she will wake up very early in one morning, and what she is going to do? She will paint the daisies. Can you see the pictures of daisies? So pretty, no? Yes, and if she were a giant, she would have painted all these daisies with the pollen. Yes, the pollen and the dew part, the watery part, she would be painting all the daisies with. Yes, generally we wake up, we find these things. No, there are dew on the grasses, on the flowers, on the leaves. Yes. So let's just move on to the next line. I would blend all the colors from deserts so dry and mix up a sunrise to splash on the sky. Now, what she's imagining, let's have a look. She wants to merge all the colors from the dry deserts, like she wants to mix up all the colors. And after mixing up, what she is doing, she will be mixing up all the colors of the sunrise even, and then she will splash all of them in the sky, all across the sky. She will be just putting it on the sky. Let's just move. I would stride to the mountains and gather the snow to paint snow white blossoms where blossoms should grow. So now she says that she would take a giant, like a giant stride. Like she can definitely, she is a giant fellow now. She would be taking a longer step, and she could now climb the mountains. And from the mountains, what she is going to do? She is going to gather the snow from the mountains. After gathering the snow, she would be painting all the white snow blossoms, and wherever she wishes, she can just paint those blossoms. I would dip my tree brush in the yellow corn, and I would paint golden with beaches by waving my hands. So, what's next? She is now planning that she will be dipping her brush made from the trees. Yes, I told you, no, that she is planning to make a paintbrush from the tree. Yes. So, from there, what she is planning now, that she will be dipping it. Where? In the yellow cornfield. Here you can see, no, yellow cornfield is there. After taking the color from there, she will paint the golden beaches as she went. Beaches by waving her hand. Like after waving her hand, she could give colors to the beaches. I would grin autumn leaves, some pink ones, some red, and cover the sun as she set off to bed. So, what she is now imagining, like she would grin the autumn leaves. Grin means पीसना. जब हम लोग कोई भी चीज़ को पीसते हैं ना, that's what grin means. So what she is planning now, she would be grinding the autumn leaves, like some pink color, some red color. And what she is going to do with that, she is going to paint and cover the sun as she went to bed. Like you can see the sunset, no, here. If she was getting a chance, if she was a giant, she would have done these things. She would have painted all these things. I would hunt all the shadows that hide from the light and dip them in pen ink and blacken the night. So, what's her next wish? Now she is wanting to search for all the shadows that are hiding from the light. She is just having a search of all the things and use them to paint the night black after dipping them in pen ink. So now she's thinking that after getting all the black color from the shadow, she will be covering the sky with black color with a paint. Now she'll be painting the night with black color with the help of the ink. I can dream I am a giant from the book on my shelf. But I know when I wake, nature's painted herself. Yes, when she is going to wake up, she will find that everything the nature has painted herself. So at the end of the poem, children, the narrator claims that even though she could dream of becoming a giant through all the books she is having, like as she said, in the self she is keeping those books, and she got the idea of becoming the giant from that place. But she knows that when she is waking up, she will find that the nature has already painted herself. Yes, isn't it true, children? That we all think these are, we take it for granted, no? We all see the day, we all see the night, the colors spread all around us. We think that it is so easy, it looks so beautiful, it's all done by the nature herself. But imagine if we have to do it, so much of hard work, will it be possible for a one person to do? So it's all God's creation. So we should always thank God for this. Yes, we should always be thankful to him that whatever he gave us, the art, the nature, we should always appreciate the beauty of nature. So let's begin with the part. You may find this in page number 105, making connection. Now we'll be discussing the exercise part. There is one extract given, children, and there are few questions, so we will be solving those. If I were a giant, I wonder if I could stand on my tiptoes and paint the sky. I would fashion paint brushes in these lines, what does the poet wonder? Yes, children, think yourself. Yes, very good. The poet wonders if she would be able to stand on her tiptoes and paint the sky if she were a giant. Give another word for expression or expression for fashion. So, what other words can be given for the word fashion? Like another word for fashion is craft or design. If the poet were a giant, how would she fashion paintbrushes? Yes, I know all of you know this. This one is a very easy one where she will be getting the paintbrushes. If the poet were a giant, she would fashion paintbrushes from trees. Yes, very good. Let's move on to question number B. I would stride to the mountains and gather the snow to paint snow white blossoms where blossoms should grow. Which word does the poet use to describe the work of a giant? Yes, when we were reading this, I told you children, if she was a giant, she would take giant stride. Yes, yes, that is the word used to describe the work of a giant. The poet uses the word stride to describe the walk of a giant. Question 2. Why does the poet want to gather snow? Any specific reason, children, why she was so much interested to gather snow? Yes, she wanted to paint the blossoms. So that is why. So the answer will be the poet wants to gather snow to paint snow white blossoms where blossoms should grow. Question 3. In these lines, the poet imagines painting blossom. List 5 other things the poet imagines she could paint. Think, children, when we were reading, every line she was imagining to paint something. Yes, she would get the color from somewhere and she was going to use that color and paint something else. Let's have a look what she was imagining. The poet imagined she could paint the sky, daisies, sunrise, golden beaches, and the sun. Now, where does the poet imagine getting these colors from? So, yes, very easy. Black, she was planning she will get the color black from the shadows. She'll get white color from snow. And yellow cornfields, as it was said in the poem. Yellow color, she got it from the corn. Pink and red from the autumn leaves. Personification is giving human qualities to something that is not human. Yes, children, this is very important. You should know whenever we are reading a poem, the one thing that is very like the poet uses an element that is personification. So that means like the thing is not a human, but then the poet is giving that thing a quality, like it is performing something which can be done only by humans. So let's have a look to the examples. Cover the sun as she set off to bed. Yes, so here the personification is done to the sun, like as if a human goes off to bed, the sun will also be moving to bed. I would hunt all the shadows that hide from the night. So here the personification is made that the shadows are hiding from the night, no? So that one more was very nice in the very last part I found. One more personification is there in the poem, children. That is the nature had painted herself. Okay, so here also the quality of human to paint is given to the nature. Okay. The very purpose, children, know when you read this poem is that its main motive is to entertain. Okay, like it is building an appreciation for the art and nature. Whenever you read it, it's all imaginative. The poet uses the word splash when she describes how she would paint a sunrise on the sky. Why do you think the poet chose this word? So why the word splash was used, children? The poet chose the word splash because at the time of the sunrise, it usually looks like a lot of color has been splashed onto the sky. Splashed जैसे कोई फेंक दिया हो बहुत सारा कलर एक साथ स्काई में, वैसा कुछ लगता है. I hope you all have seen the sunrise, no? So many beautiful colors all together in the sky. Question 5. What inspires the poet to dream about being a giant? So, what was her inspiration? From where did she get the inspiration? The nature. Yes, she got the inspiration from the nature, and the wondrous thing that the nature is doing inspires the poet to dream about being a giant. You can take the screenshot. Question number 6, children. Good poems use language in ways that are fresh and helps us to see the world with new eyes. Would you say this is a good poem? Yes, give reason for your answer. So this answer, children, write it in your own words. Yeah, definitely your answer should include few points like why do you consider it a good poem? What all points did you find very interesting? Okay, so that all things should be included in your answer. Few more things I would like to say, like we can say some of the part like the natures, the beauty of the nature, how the poet is trying to explain, that also we can mention. These are very basic things, isn't it? We all see in our day-to-day life the sunrise, the sunset, the beaches, the flowers, everything we have a look. But do we give such a detailed description? Do we give a we admire those beauties? No. But when we read this poem, definitely so many new things came to our mind. The power of imagination was given to us by the poet. Yes, and it's she is wanting us to see the nature in a very artistic manner. Yes, the artist way, how the painting is done of a sunrise, where if she were a giant, what she will do, from where she'll get the color, what she will paint, and everything she has described in this poem. So, yes, it's all up to you. Definitely for me, it was a very good poem, and the reasons I told you early. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you all like it. Thank you.